A young kid in his 20s came to her and said, I want you to look at my company, PayPal, and I think we're going to change the face of banking. That young kid was Elon Musk.
Commuters across the country may welcome tech titan Elon Musk's latest big disruptive idea. How about this? Underground tunnels to beat traffic congestion.
Elon Musk just passed Bill Gates to become the second richest man in the world.
Musk's judgment was also questioned when he announced he wanted to take Tesla private. The company lost nearly $2 billion last year and has never earned a profit. Amid a chorus of criticism, he reversed course, saying Tesla will remain public.
When I interview somebody, I really just ask them to tell me the story of their career and what what are some of the tougher problems that they dealt with, how they dealt with those, and how they made decisions at key transition points. And usually that's enough for me to get a very good gut feel about someone. And what I'm really looking for is evidence of exceptional ability.
Well, there's a lot of talented people at SpaceX and Tesla. And I think the morale is good. I for sure respect them greatly, and it's an honor to work with them. And I find that if I am engrossed in the details of the issues, this does not result in them feeling worse, but feeling better. Like they're in my experience, more energized. You know, it's like, if you think about like war, it's like, you want the general in some ivory tower or on the front lines. Like, the troops are gonna fight a lot harder if they see the general on the front lines than if they think general's, in some cushy situation. Show them that you care and that you're not just in some plush office somewhere.
If somebody graduated from a great university, that may be an indication that they will be capable of great things, but it's not necessarily the case. If you look at, say, people like Bill Gates or Larry Ellison, Steve Jobs, these guys didn't graduate from college. But if you had a chance to hire them, of course, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, He's very demanding. He works. He's leading from the front. He's always out there, and he's very, very involved. He understands absolutely everything about the products that he sells.
Tesla and SpaceX obviously have massive operations in California. In fact, it's worth noting that Tesla is the last car company still manufacturing cars in California. SpaceX is the last aerospace company still doing significant manufacturing in California. So there used to be over a dozen car plants in California, and California used to be the center of aerospace manufacturing. My companies are the last two left. We've got the Starship development here in South Texas, where I am right now. We're hopefully going to do a launch later today. And then we've got the big factory development just outside of Austin. 2, 1. Well, I think there's innovation, but then there's also just our CEOs in corporate America focus enough on product improvement. I think the answer is no. And I think generally my advice or my recommendation would really be spend less time on finance, spend less time in conference rooms, less time on PowerPoint, and more time just trying to make your product as amazing as possible. The company is an assembly of people gathered together to create a product or service and deliver that product or service. And sometimes people lose sight of that. A company has no value in and of itself. It only has value to the degree that it is an effective allocator of resources to create goods and services that are of greater value than the cost of the inputs. This thing we call profit is should just mean over time that the value of the output is worth more than the inputs. Like, I would just urge people to say, like, hey, step back a second and say, is your product as awesome as it could be? Probably not. What could you do to make it great? And people like think about innovation, like maybe it has to be like breakthrough innovation. I don't think it necessarily has to be breakthrough innovation. It's just like make your product better. This is the thing that really matters.
Yeah, it's like thousands of like little things like that that help improve production. Like General Assembly is what I was talking about as being really well suited to people.
Okay.
Because you got a lot of weird things that you got to put together. Like, you know, like look at some of these, you know, assemblies that like it's pretty hard for a robot to like connect this on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's, you know, this place used to employ like about 5,000 people, and now we got 10,000 people just in this location.
Yeah.
So what we do is we have like tons of shuttles and like we encourage ride sharing.
Yeah.
We got the Bay Area Rapid Transit station finally like went up. So just like trying to get people here is not easy.
Welcome back. The clash of the tech titans, Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, taking opposite sides on the stay-at-home orders during their respective earnings calls yesterday. Musk telling investors the orders hinder people's freedom.
In fact, he measures pretty much every major decision by whether or not it brings the day when we have a self-sustainable colony on Mars sooner or later.
You know, if it's, you know, go back to the sort of sports team analogy, like if a team has been winning for too long, they do tend to get a little complacent, a little entitled, and then they don't win the championship anymore. So California's been winning for a long time. And I think they're taking it for granted a little bit.
He's a great tech visionary. It's not clear that he's necessarily a great business leader, and I think that's the fundamental problem that he's running into right now.
But he's so driven, you know, and he's such a smart guy, and he's really the most driven person I think I've ever met. I've seen him do it, and I still don't understand it. You know, it's like I kind of burn myself out just trying to do one of those things.
Yeah.
He does all of them.
So to work with him is difficult. You're either in with Elon 100%, maybe 120%, or you're out. Keep up with the man is really tough. And so a lot of people I know that have left, some of my good friends were part of the founding team, have left because they just got tired.
He's got an idea, and he'll keep pushing, and you know, he gives us aggressive timelines that we have to work to, and we work really hard to try to meet him. It's hard when you're doing stuff that's this complicated to predict exactly how long it's going to take. So, you know, we end up often falling a little bit behind, but we do our best.
Like one of the most difficult choices I ever faced in life was in 2008. I could put it all into one company, and then the other company would definitely die, or split it between the two companies. But if I split it between the two companies, then both might die. And you know, when you put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating something, or building something, it's like a child. And so it's like, which one am I going to let one starve to death? I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I split the money between the two. Fortunately, thank goodness, they both came through.